So continuing with Nom Nom November, this is our one-play review of Steam Up, a feast of dim sum.
Yes.
So this is a pretty cool little game where you are eating as much dim sum as possible, basically. So you are at a restaurant, and the dim sum are served on this very unique board where you can manipulate it and have the opportunity to spin the little table here and move the dim sums around to try to get the best things for whatever your player wants. So there's a variety of different characters or customers that you can play, and they're all based off of the Chinese zodiac, which is pretty cool. So like we have like the angry customer or the naughty kid, which is the monkey and the rooster. I played as the dog, who's the loyal customer, and you were...
And I played as the pig, who was the food blogger.
Yes. So in the rules, they say there's a little teacup symbol on the starting, the suggested like first play customers. Yeah. Just that way they're a little bit easier to play. They don't have as a complicated as a goal like some of the other ones, because like the angry customer, he has a little bit more of a complicated play. So once you've played a few games, you can try playing a little bit more complicated character, and then other players that might not have played as much or is not as comfortable with the game, they can definitely play one of the easier characters and still be in the same game and not have a disadvantage or anything.
Right.
So on your turn, you're going to pick one of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 actions, I think it is.
Yeah. Yes.
So
yes.
5 actions. Okay. So you can take a token. So tokens are these little round tokens which have the picture of the dim sum on them. You can take a fate card or fortune card. Excuse me. I kept mixing that up in the game too. The fortune card, which are the red cards, and these give you a thing that you can do on your turn. And there's no limit to the number of these you can have, but you can draw one of these cards if you wanted to. You can use one of the fortune cards, and whenever you draw or use a fortune card, after you're done, you have an option to rotate the dim sum board 90 degrees if you wanted to.
In any direction. 90 degrees of it.
Then if you wanted to, you could also discard 2 fortune cards for a food token of your choice.
Yep.
And then one of the last actions that you can take is you can buy or purchase a steamer.
Yes.
So to purchase a steamer, you discard the tokens that match whatever is in the steamer basket on top of one of the dim sum steamers that are in your zone. Now, depending on the player count, the zones change a little bit. So in a 2-player game, you put out this little ring with the zone on it, and the 2 players are going to choose from half of the board. And then, so for example, this zone, Will was on this side of it.
Right.
So he could only choose stuff that was like in this area, and I could choose stuff that were in the other area.
Directly across from it, yeah.
After every round, beginning of a new round, you will flip over a fate card. And a fate card will do something and manipulate the game a little bit. It will either make you roll maybe the die, which has different faces on them with the different types of dim sum or numbers on them. There's also a blank side, because in Chinese culture, a 4 is unlucky. So there's no 4 on the die, but the blank is counted as 0 or nothing. So you might roll that, or you might get to be able to draw from the bag, which has some extra dim sum in it. You might be exchanging tokens or doing something to manipulate the game a little bit. And as you gain your tokens, you're placing them on your customer board, and you earn the points when you place them on the spots. So for example, with the rooster, so the first time you gain one of the, was it the shrimp?
Shrimp dumplings.
The shrimp dumplings. you'll gain the points that you cover up. And then some of them have bonuses for different things. Like for the loyal customer, whenever you bought a steamer, the number of dim sum that were in it also gave you bonus points.
Mm-hmm.
For you as the food blogger,
as soon as I finished a column, like basically had one of each type of dim sum that was in there, I got 3 extra hardy points.
yes,
For completing, for having one of each type of food. Because as a blogger, you'd like to taste everything before you make your judgment. So it's actually pretty cool. That was pretty cool.
yes. So yeah, that's one thing I kept getting stumbled on, because everything it's hardy points. You win hardy points at the end of your turn, but it's always abbreviated HP, and then my brain just goes health points for everything.
Yeah.
I had to keep changing myself from thinking that. But I think the game is pretty cool. We didn't really have to reference the rule book too much. There's a few things where we're like, hey, is this allowed? How does this? And then we got towards the end of the game, we also double checked to make sure we were doing that end of game correctly.
Mm-hmm.
But it was pretty easy to learn, I think.
Yeah.
And easy to
picked
get
it up
going
pretty quick.
and playing. And at the end of the game, you get 2 extra points, or you get 1 extra point for every 2 fortune cards you have,
Mm-hmm.
but you lose a point for every 2 food tokens that you have
That you
left
didn't lose. That you didn't use. Yes.
So the little round tokens, if you didn't use them, you're wasting food, you lose points for those.
Yep.
So at the very end, I was just trying to mitigate to not have to gain a token, because you have to take 2 actions. So I was just trying to figure out how to manipulate it so I didn't get to take a token, so I didn't lose any more points.
Yes. And most of the time, and pretty much for most of, not all of the characters, you can't take the same action twice.
Correct.
But there is a character that allows you, that has that ability.
Yeah, we looked through some of them and see what the other abilities were after the game.
So yeah.
And like the horse, I think it is. The horse was the fast eater, the speedy eater,
The
or
speed
something.
eater, yeah.
So the horse has a special ability where they can take 2.
Yeah,
of
the same action twice. Yeah.
I really enjoyed this game. I felt like some of the cards, especially the fate cards, gave an advantage to the player that was in last place. So it kind of had a little bit of a catch-up.
Yeah, I don't know if it's necessarily the last place person, but it seems like, well, yeah, I guess it was last place. Because it seems like it gives them the ability to kind of catch up.
Yeah.
And
I think it
kind of
really
makes
helped.
a little, yeah.
Because we were kind of close. I kind of went a little bit further than you.
Yeah.
And then you had some of those which kind of let you kind of get a little bit further along.
Yeah, so it wasn't a blowout. Because I only won by, 1 point?
Correct.
It was like 36-35.
Correct.
So it was really pretty close.
Yeah. So, it ended up being just a 1-point match for us.
Mm-hmm.
The game ends when there's a track at the top of the scoreboard. So there's so many, once you've purchased so many of the steamers, that can end the game. Or if you run out of fate cards, you put 18 fate cards in the deck. So if you're going through all 18, then you play one more round, and that game ends. We have the deluxe edition. I think I should have mentioned that in the beginning. So all of our tokens are like these like squishy, rubbery tokens.
Not edible.
Not edible. Please do not eat the tokens.
But they're like erasers.
Yeah, they kind of like feel like erasers. That's what I wrote that down, that they're like erasers.
And they're cute though.
Yes.
Squishy.
And even the steamer baskets are fun to play with. Because you keep them on your side when you're playing them. So you're like stacking them and unstacking them and kind of give you something to play with when it's not quite your turn and you're trying to look at stuff and figure out what you want to do. But I did like this game a lot.
Looking forward to trying some of the other characters.
Yes.
To see how they manipulate the turntable and how they interact with each other. So interested in how that's going to play. And
playing with different player counts
players,
would actually be a little bit interesting, because with this, you only had 1 turn to wait before it was your turn again, unless you're able to move that first player token,
right? Which
is chili oil. Do you have that? You have that?
Sweet chili oil.
It's just chili oil.
Yeah, chili oil.
Yeah, so it's a little chili oil token. Normally that doesn't move. There are some cards that can manipulate that to make that move and change up the turn order just a little bit.
Yep.
But I think this is a hit for our table. We're definitely going to play this again.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of want to play this with some dim sum.
And I can pretty much eat all of these because there's no onions in any of them.
Oh, yeah.
It seems.
Well, some might because a lot of
The
stuff
mints
do.
will probably have it.
Yeah, well, still. Food allergies. Those are always fun.
Yeah. But it did make me hungry, though.
Yes.
So I'll probably have to get Chinese food tomorrow.
Yep.
Or whenever you see this, it'd be the next day.
Yes.
For me,
Hey.
the next day. But it's all good.
Chinese food tomorrow always sounds good.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely.
So yes, this is definitely going to be hitting our table again. So this was our one-play review of Steam Up for Nom Nom November. Definitely check this one out.
Mm-hmm.
And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, help support Cloak and Meeple. All the links are down below. And thanks for watching.
See you in the next one.
Stay tuned for more food-based
Nom Nom.
games. Yep.
Nom nom.
For Nom Nom November. Bye.
Bye.